press the bell icon on the YouTube app and never miss another update.
Hello students, welcome back to your social science class. Today we are going to continue the chapter Entrepreneurship, and we have dealt with the basic meaning, the textbook meaning, okay, and in detail who is an entrepreneur and what is entrepreneurship. Today in today's class we will discuss about certain characteristics of an entrepreneur and what are his or her functions, and then we can move forward. Okay, if time permits we will move forward, otherwise we will today deal with characteristics and functions of an entrepreneur. So what I have put down behind me is what's there in page number 161 in your textbook. Okay, characteristics of an entrepreneur. We'll deal with them one by one. See, these are basic words which you already know the meaning of, but we will just have a gist of what these meanings are, what the words say, and how it's related to being an entrepreneur. Okay, so entrepreneur and his characteristics. So I have just mixed it up to write, okay, because of the space. I've not written it exactly as it is in the text, but all the points are here. So we'll go from the first one. What are the characteristics that he needs to have in order to be a good entrepreneur, in order to be a good person who is self-employed, or a person who can do a lot of success when he has all these characteristics with him. If not, if he has one or two missing, he can just balance it somewhere, but at least most of them he must have. And it's not right for a person not to have these qualities. So we'll get into and we'll understand the first one, self-confidence. Okay, now I should believe in myself before I do it to others, or before I believe in others and before I believe in whatever is going to happen in the future. I need to believe in myself that I can do it. Okay, now these characteristics you can take it for your life also. So take it as a life lesson and a lesson in your text. Okay, so you need to have self-confidence, isn't it, that I can do it. Come what may, I will do it in any way that I can. Okay, he is to believe, he has to have motivation from within. Now if he is not motivated to do it within himself, or if he is not motivated, or he is not feeling confident about what he is going to do, then he may incur a loss there. He may feel, okay, I'm having a loss and I may not be able to repay my money, or I may not be able to get back whatever I have invested. Alright, so these are the ways. Next is he must have creativity. So everybody who gets into business doesn't become a successful person unless they have creativity. Now if you have gone if somebody wants to put a cloth business, okay, let's assume if somebody wants to put a cloth business, and if they advertise their clothes, okay, your shirts, your saris, your salwars, your kurtas, or whatever it is, whichever clothing they have all varieties, okay, and if they advertise it just like the people who do it otherwise, just put some hoarding somewhere and then just give a television ad saying that this is our shop and it is here in this place, please come and visit. People will see the advertisement. Even what do we do when we see our television? The ads come, they go on their own. How much do you concentrate on it? Rarely do you concentrate, because once it is a new one, people will see, okay, something is new. But if it's repeated, now if you have a half an hour program, at least 15 minutes you have only advertisements that are coming. That's how they make money. Okay, that's how they make money. That's why you're getting more number of advertisements. More number of advertisements, more number of money. That's the logic behind that. Okay. So it's keeping on running for 15 minutes, and every day you're seeing the same thing. You're not more concentrating on it. But if they add some element to it, that is just catching your attention. Maybe different colors, maybe the words that they say, maybe they have given certain offers, okay. These are tactics, okay. These are knacks to get their customers. So if that person doesn't do any creativity and just keeps a shop there, just waiting for his customers to come, he may get customers. I'm not saying you will not get customers. People passing by the road may just feel, okay, let's visit this shop and come back. There are some people who may buy, there are some people who may just see and come back. It's always not necessary, isn't it, that you need to buy it. You can always check and come back. And then you can think over it, and then there are people who simply check some certain things, especially if you go to malls. Nobody buys in the mall. It's only they roam and roam and roam around and see every clothing that is there, every fancy item that is there, eat the food that is there and just come back. Have your time and come back. But that helps them in the process, okay. Now if you want to buy certain clothing, you'll remember, okay, that shop was there and I can go there back. How will you remember? If there is some creativity in that, if there are some good collections of clothings with them, if they have ordinary colors with them, they don't have any designs with them, you will not recommend that shop to anybody, nor will you go to that shop, okay. So I just gave you an example of a cloth store. Take any example and you can add your own elements to it. Creativity. Achievement motivation. Now, with regard to you, when you are writing your boards, okay, you should have certain achievement motivation, that I must score this much in my boards, okay. I must get this much. Whatever your target is, I'm not setting any target for you, you set your target for yourself. Don't ask anybody to set any targets for you regarding your boards. You set your own target, you know your capacity, you know your way of writing, you know how much you can remember, so set your own target. It may be 95 above, 85 above, 75 above, or whatever it is, okay, I leave it that to you. But you must have a target. And you are thinking now, there are a few months more for you, or we are already ahead of time, and there are a few more months for you to write your boards. So there should be some fire that is there inside that should ignite always and say, okay, I must do it, I have to do it, I will do it. Here, while somebody is putting a business, if they don't have any achievement, saying that I must achieve this much. Now, if they may have started, I'm taking a small amount of money. If they have started for 1,000 rupees, assume, okay, nobody starts for 1,000 rupees, but assume, or 10,000 rupees. Let's take 10,000 or a lakh, okay. They've invested 1 lakh on furniture and everything that is there, okay, and they want the investment back. Now, if I don't have a motivation saying that I must get back what I have spent, I will not do anything. I will simply wait. That waiting will go on and on and on, and that waiting will never get over, okay. And when the waiting doesn't get over, you get frustrated. Now, even in the same way, we are also waiting and waiting when the schools and colleges will reopen. But wait is never getting over. It's just getting forward and forward and forward. But the situation is okay. It's out of our hand. We can understand the reality. But in terms of business, you can't be waiting like that, isn't it? They have to think of different ideas. They have to think of their target audience who is there. Now, if they are doing on men's clothing, can they target women? They can't be targeting women. They have to target boys and young boys there and men there, because they have varieties of shirt and pants for them, or t-shirts for them, okay. So they can't be targeting girls and women there. That's not of any interest to women and girls. But if you're doing to women, can you target men? No, they should know their right audience. In terms of, okay, that is men and women. In terms of maybe with regard to art, okay, with regard to art, you are displaying your canvas, you're displaying your paint brushes, you're displaying the qualities that are there. Can you display that to a person who is not interested, or can you go and tell, okay, please buy the paint brushes, please buy this canvas here, please buy the materials that you require to paint, for a person who is not an artist? You can't be doing that. He is no longer interested in whatever you are saying. So just leave it. But if you truly find a person who is interested in art, he will know how to explore his things. He will come to you, he will ask you, you can get a good contact. Now I'm reminded of one thing. If you have gone to many just places like that, there are people who are distributing pamphlets. What do we do with those pamphlets? Some take it home, some take it seriously, throw it in the dustbin, okay? Some throw it on the road. You shouldn't be doing that. You shouldn't dirty the place that is there around you. If you don't want, go and throw it in the dustbin, or don't take it at all. If you're not interested to read it, if you're not interested to know what it is, don't read it, don't take it at all. At least they will save them instead of wasting it from your hand. So why do they distribute these pamphlets? They are advertising their product, okay? That is one way of achieving something that I want. I am making myself known to my audience. I am making my product known to my audience. Sometimes when they have just started, they give a lot of offers, okay? Like 20% off and what is that? That is some sale, okay? Year-end sale, okay? Something like that. There is another word, I'm not getting it. Just like year-end sale. Or they give it for very cheap rates. Good quality products, they give it for cheap rates. Just to advertise their business, okay? So that's achievement motivation. You must have something within yourself saying that I must do it and I must get back what I have done. Dynamism is similarly related to achievement motivation. I must be a very dynamic person, okay? I must be very active. I must not be a lazy person always, okay? Now everybody needs rest. Everybody can be lazy. But there are certain limits to it, isn't it? You can be lazy, there's no problem in that. But when you have to do something, you must make up your mind and do it. I must be available to people. I must make contacts. I must encourage others who are there working along with me, okay? I must be a very dynamic person. I must have a lot of energy within me. I must not act like old person who is not able to do anything. No, when I have energy, I must use that energy that is there. When I am young, I must use the energy that I have, okay? And if you keep on going with that energy, you will have energy for a longer time that is there, longer life that is there. But if you are acting very sluggish in this age, then it's not going to be of any use in the future, okay? So goal orientation. Goal orientation is, now I told you we have spent maybe 5 lakh, okay, 5 lakh. Now my goal is within 2 years I must make double of 5 lakh, or okay, or more extra money than 5 lakh that is there. So that is my goal. And my another goal is that I must set up my business. I must make a lot of outlets, not only one shop, but many outlets in different branches that are there in different places. I must open my branch in different places. I must reach out to people as and when I can. Okay, I must have a goal. Now in your terms, your goal is in terms of setting a career. You want to be anything, any profession that you want to take, that's your goal. You want to get in there. You have to strive hard for that. You must have some achievement within you. Okay, you must have some confidence within you. You must be very dynamic to achieve your goal. Okay, next is team building. Now when they do a business, you can't be working alone. You need people to work along with you. So how do you keep your team together? How are you building that relationship that is there? That relationship is more important. Okay, sorry. The relationship is more important. Now if the boss or the leader there is always grumpy about things, is always angry and doesn't have patience, then the people there will not like to work with him, will not like her. They will say, what kind of a man, what kind of a woman, we will just leave and go. So when you don't build your team properly, you have your losses. When you have your losses, you cannot achieve your goals. When you have those certain things, you are losing your self-confidence, you lose the motivation that is there, and you are not able to achieve anything that you want. As well as your goal also goes down, your dynamism, the energy that you had also goes down. But if you are a sensible person, if you know how you have to deal with the other members of your team, then all the others can be achieved very easily. Okay? Decision making. Okay, let's go to problem solving and decision making. Now, if there is any problem, maybe sometimes, let's take this example, you are distributing your goods. Okay, think that we are making soaps. We are making soaps and perfumes. Now, you have overnight, you have to transport your goods that are there, okay, to another factory that is there. From, maybe we'll take from Karnataka to Tamil Nadu, okay. You have to transport it from Karnataka to Tamil Nadu, and on the way, when it's going to Tamil Nadu, something happens to your vehicle and it stops and you have a loss, okay. Everything falls down, it topples down and you have a loss. You've lost all your products there. Some people on the way have just come and they have come there, they have taken the products and gone. Some have just burnt it out there, okay, and it has got you a loss. Now, when such problems come, you should know how to handle them, okay. You should know how to make your certain decisions that are there. What if you always assume that everything is going to be good to you? That cannot be happening, isn't it? Where there is good, there is bad. Where there is positive, there is negative. So, when problems arise, he or she should know how to make certain decisions. Not only in terms of problems, but otherwise also. How my company should run. What are the products that I am going to make? How I am going to advertise? Who is my target audience? Okay. Then, where will I set my branches? How will I communicate to people? All are process of making decisions. Now, if I have not made a decision of not advertising my product, or if I have not made a decision of setting a different brand somewhere, I am staying in a very close space. I am staying in a very small place. That will never help me grow. Even with you as an individual, if you are restricted to a certain atmosphere, if you are restricted to a certain language, if you are restricted to certain things that you only do in and around you, you will never grow. You will never grow. Instead, watch certain things that interest you. It can be movies, it can be series that are there, it can be short videos that are there, documentaries that are there, read books if you can, visit places if you can, okay? Learn a new language. Leave your first language and learn another language that is there. At least 3-4 languages extra than your mother tongue. Okay, try learning them. That's how you grow. If you're restricted, if you say, okay, this is my small space, I don't want to grow. No, you can't do that. The world is changing very fast. The world is growing very fast and you have to adapt yourself as soon as you can. And this is the right time, students, for you to learn as many things as you can. Because the world is a different world now, and I am also still learning, I am also still exploring. So we all have to do it at a certain age, and after a certain age we realize, okay, this was how it is. So our young days go only in exploring things that are there. So for you better start exploring yourself now, okay? And as you come towards my age, maybe you'll realize certain things that I realized in this age, okay? Okay, so that's a decision making. So you'll have to make your decisions for your self as well as for your organization. Now you'll also need to take certain risks, maybe with spending money, maybe with setting an outlet somewhere which may be popular or which may not be popular. That's a risk of you setting up there, and then maybe you have to shut down, okay? If you don't take risk, you don't know how it will work. So you'll have to take risk that is there, okay? So risk taking. or risk taking in experimenting something. You don't know how your audience is going to take it. You don't know how your customers are going to take it. Yet, you take the risk and just experiment on it, all right? Leadership. Now, I mentioned to you in the previous class, the sheep is as its shepherd. So, your team will be as the leader. A good leader can make things work very easily because he or she knows how it has to work. He or she knows what is important. He or she knows their priorities that are there. Priorities are very important. You also can set your own priorities, maybe with your activities, maybe with your play, maybe with your studies. Okay, and your daily routine work that is there. Okay, you have food, you have bath. Okay, that's daily routine that is there. So you have to set your priorities. Where I will do what? When I will sleep. When I will do what? Okay, which subject shall I study today? What can I read extra? Which movie can I watch? What time do I watch? Should I take some rest now? So you have to decide. Aren't you thinking about in yourself? You are. Okay, and that is helping you make decisions. It's also helping you to take risks sometimes. Sometimes you don't know what's going to happen yet. But you are your own leader sometimes. You are your own motivator. You are your own critic. Now, in a company, if the boss is not wanting to communicate with his people, if the boss doesn't want to set meetings and discuss things with the people, or if he doesn't want to organize certain events which may help his business, he doesn't want to do. But he or she is a person who only wants others to listen what they have said. And that is not right. When they are in a team, when they are building that team, that leader has to have everybody's opinion. The leader has to take everybody's opinion in whatever way it may be. Then finally give a decision. But others' opinions matter when they are in a team. You need to have commitment towards whatever you do. Now, I told you, just if you put a shop and if you wait, nothing is going to happen. So, you need to be committed, saying that I have to grow my business come what may. I have to take it on a larger scale. I have to make my name in the society. I will be committed to whatever work it is. And I will be able to give my needs. I will be able to sacrifice certain things. I will be doing good for whatever it is. Innovation and creativity, please put it together. Okay, you are experimenting on certain things, you are trying to bring out new ideas. Okay, you are an innovator. We studied in the previous class, an entrepreneur is an innovator. That is, he is creating new ideas, he is making new ideas, he is bringing them out into practice. While he is experimenting, there may be risks, there may be losses that are there, yet he or she will flourish if he is committed. So, we will just see on an overview again, and then we will get into functions of an entrepreneur. Okay. Now, an entrepreneur should be a good leader. He should be committed. Okay. He should be committed. He should have dynamism. He should have creativity, which will boost his self-confidence and make him achieve, okay, give him achievement motivation to achieve his, to get his goals while he is building his team, okay, and making certain decisions while taking risks and solving problems. So that's how you connect all the statements and do it. I'll try it again for you, okay. An entrepreneur should be a good leader who has self-confidence, who builds his team with creativity and innovation. Okay, I'll just mark, otherwise I will, okay. An entrepreneur should, okay, where's the leader? Okay, entrepreneur should be a good leader, that's how you'll remember the points, okay. Entrepreneur should be a good leader who has self-confidence and builds his team with creativity and innovation, okay, who help him in achievement motivation and goal orientation, while they also help him in risk taking, problem solving and decision making, where he must have commitment and dynamism. Okay, you connect it on your own and frame your own sentence. So if you state in one sentence, you'll remember all the characteristics correctly. Moving on, we'll see functions of an entrepreneur. Instead of sitting and mugging up, okay, self-confidence, what is that? Dynamism, creativity, problems. Make a sentence and you'll remember it, okay? Okay, what he has to do. Now, how he has to be, we discussed in characteristics. What he has to do. Once he has all those characteristics, what he has to do. Now, okay, he has to look for opportunities. Okay, then he must plan. Then he must organize his resources. Okay. Then he must do his production. Then he must market them, marketing. Okay. So what he has to do first? He has to look for his opportunity properly. Where can I show my talent, or where can I try out my hand into? Once he seeks his opportunity, he has to plan them properly. This is how I am going to do. Okay, once he does that, he will have to organize his resources, bring all his resources together. Then he has to produce his goods. Once he produces his goods, he has to send it out to the market and advertise, okay, marketing. That is, he should make people known about his products. Now, then he has his people along with him, his assistants who are there, okay. Then they help in team building, they work as a team with risks, with decisions, with problem solving, everything that is possibly happening in the business there. Now, I don't want to write the points, but we'll just discuss because this is the same thing that's being repeated all over again, okay. Now, the first point is, entrepreneur starts business activity by preparing various plans relating to business. So, what is he doing? Once he seeks his opportunities, he is planning out how I have to do, what I have to do, where will I place my shop. I told you an example in the last class. If I don't get a place in the heart of the city, can I go a little outskirts to the city? Can I go a little far away from the city and place my shop? Then he has to organize his things, organize his resources, organize his materials, organize his production. Where will I produce? Will I have a factory to do it? Will I rent a place? Okay, what will I produce? What are the machines that I need to produce my goods? Then he has to take decisions about products, okay, about technology that is going to be involved, how he will market, how he will employ people, or how he will recruit people. So he has to take certain decisions. And in the beginning, he may be alone or he may be having a business with his partners, okay, sharing a business. Now they have to make decisions, how they will produce, what kind of materials they'll bring, from where they will buy it, who will they employ, what kind of technology will they use, what kind of marketing skills, what kind of advertisements they will do, okay, the color combinations and how will their posters be, everything from A to Z, whatever they want to do. Once he does that, his function is also once he has recruited people, once he has brought people, he has to keep them together. He has to bind them together, and he must coordinate the things that are there. Okay, that is, he should be very sure of what he is doing and what he shouldn't be doing. Then after that, he brings in new methods, he brings in new ideas, creative ideas, and tries to experiment with them, tries to put them to practice. He also has to deal with money. He has to keep his budget that is there. Without budget, he will not be able to do. So he has to be very serious with how much money he is going to spend, how much money will he have, how much money can he get back, how much money can he target only to do the marketing. So he has to keep a record of his budget that is there. He also should be open to risk. He also should be open to making certain decisions all of a sudden. He should be ready for unforeseen situations, that is uncertain situations. Sometimes some things can happen which you never thought about. An entrepreneur should be always ready to face challenges. Some people may complain about it, some people may tell good about it. So be ready and be open to all that is going to come to you. Then he gives directions, he gives instructions, he sets rules and regulations for it. Okay, he makes his registrations. Then with all that, he looks after and sees to that his business becomes an effective one, his business becomes a successful one in whatever way he does. But more important for him is keeping his people who are there, being good to them, and making having good marketing skills with him and his teammates, so that his products don't, people don't forget his products so easily, all right. So this was characteristics and functions of an entrepreneur. We will deal with role of an entrepreneur and importance of entrepreneurs in our society in the coming class that is there. Now today's class was a little easy, today's class was a little light. So if you have heard it, I think that's enough for you to understand. You can write on your own, I believe. Okay? If you find it difficult, please read. If you really can't, there are some people who can only hear and remember things, but some people need to write, read, see, okay? So if you're one of those, please read the textbooks and make your own points, which are easier for you. All right? Okay, students, thank you very much for listening.